London on 1458 AM and DAB, smart speaker, mobile app and LeicaRadio.com.
This is Leica Radio.
From the Sky News Centre at 9. ITV's insisted this morning is not under review after speculation it was to be axed following the departure of Philip Schofield. He admitted lying about an affair with a younger male colleague. But brand expert Carolyn Daly says a lot is at stake.
The show could be fighting for its life, arguably. So top management are very concerned about how they're looking in this and the whole ITV brand. So they will be circling the wagons now and getting everybody in rooms and talking about this and how we're going to handle it.
Supermarkets could be asked to bring in price caps on goods like milk and bread under a new plan to bring down soaring food costs. Rishi Sunak said to be considering drawing up voluntary agreements with retailers, although we're told it's still at the drawing board stage. The Home Office is launching an ad campaign in Albania to try to stop people crossing the channel in small boats. Posters will warn they face being detained and removed. 4 MPs, including a government minister, are being asked to repay money after claiming for driving fines on expenses. Parliament's watchdog says it'll prevent any claims being paid in the future. To sport, Luton goalkeeper Ethan Horvath says the team's brotherhood helped them secure Premier League football with victory in the Championship playoff final. A dramatic match against Coventry ended 1-1 after extra time at Wembley before Luton snatched promotion with a 6-5 win on penalties. Fans have been celebrating the win.
Within 10 years, what we've done, no other club can compare to us. We are the best in the UK.
Unbelievable. And it's my birthday today. What a fantastic birthday present. It's just amazing.
So good. I love it. I'll be buzzing.
Hundreds of young activists are heading to Downing Street later to demand ministers do more to remove stigma around periods at school. Research suggests nearly half of girls struggle to access sanitary products, with a third missing classes as a result. That's the latest. I'm Faye.
At British Gas, we get on with the job at hand. With over 6,500 engineers nationwide fixing, servicing, installing, upgrading, we're rolling up our sleeves to keep over 10 million homes and businesses running efficiently. And we're not stopping there. We're hiring a new apprentice every single day until the end of the decade to power the skills of the future. That's enough talking. Let's get on with the doing. British Gas.
Winner of Radio Station of the Year at the Asian Media Awards.
Leica Radio, London.
Leica Radio weather.
Today's weather, sunny intervals and gentle breeze. In London and surrounding areas, top temperature 21 centigrade. Sunset is at 9:03 p.m.
Yeah.
Leica Radio. Leica Radio.
Flight updates are brought to you by TravelUp.com. Flights, hotels and holidays.
Let's go for a flight update. All flights are as scheduled, but please check with your flight operators before heading to the airport.
Flight updates were brought to you by TravelUp.com. Lowest prices are guaranteed only when you book directly through TravelUp.com. Call 0207 580 5000. Flight updates were brought to you by TravelUp.com. Lowest prices are guaranteed only when you book directly through TravelUp.com. Call 0207 580 5000. Talking Points with Keith Vaz, celebrating diversity. Leica, London. Leica Radio.
Good morning and welcome to the 162nd edition of Talking Points on Leica Radio with me, Keith Vaz. I can't believe it's the last Sunday of the month. Our very own Valissa has been to Dubai this week on an amazing show. Thank you, Valissa. I hope you had a good visit. Thank you, Priyanka, for a great show. Let's go round the world to get some of the top news stories. As you all know, who could miss this? Tina Turner, the American-born singer who left a hard-scrabble farming community and abusive relationship to become one of the top recording artists of all time, died on Wednesday at the age of 83. She died peacefully after a long illness in Switzerland. Turner's career began in the 1950s during the early years of rock and roll and evolved into an MTV phenomenon, and indeed, she became the queen of rock and roll. Indians are exchanging 2,000 rupee notes worth about 20 quid as the banks of the country aim to withdraw the currency from circulation. The note was introduced only in 2016 after the Indian government withdrew 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's decision was seen as an attempt to curb black money. India's central bank on Friday said that the 2,000 rupee notes, India's highest denomination currency note, would be removed from circulation. They would still be legal, however. This means that the Reserve Bank of India wants most notes to be exchanged on deposits into banks by the 30th of September and eventually removed from circulation. You have 4 months to get this done. Immigration may be cut by up to 150,000 under plans announced by the government. This will particularly affect foreign students from bringing family members into the UK. The new reforms will come into effect for students starting in January 2024. Overseas students will be stopped from switching from student visa routes into work routes until their studies have been completed. In our weekly Inventor series, we asked the question, who invented the aeroplane? The Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, were American aviation pioneers, generally credited with inventing, building and flying the world's first successful motor-operated airplane with their aircraft Wright Flyer-On, which flew on December the 17th, 1903. The brothers were also first to invent aircraft controls, so the aeroplane is 120 years old this week.
Keith Vaz on Talking Points. Leica.
On the programme today, my special guests start with Sangeeta Waldron, a multi-award-winning public relations professional who runs her own London-based PR agency, Serendipity PR and Media. I'll be talking to her about those speeches that she's done for a Prime Minister, and if asked, will she do one for Donald Trump? From London, we'll go over to Leicester to talk to my next guest on the programme, Osama Mullah, an engagement lead for the NHS Diabetes Prevention Programme, about how to live healthier lives for longer. Diabetes, as we know, one of the biggest killers in our community. But before all that, let's hear some music.
मैं पगला गया हूँ ये जानता जो दिल के मोहल्ले में तू आ गया मेरे सवाल का तू ही जवाब है मेरे सवाल का तू ही जवाब है ये सवेरे सवेरे ही ख्वाब आ गया खुल के जो तू हंसे मेरी आंखें ना हटे तेरे आने से सूरज भी शर्मा गया मैं पगला गया हूँ ये जानता जो दिल के मोहल्ले में तू आ गया बेहोश होश है सब खामोश है हूँ बेहोश होश है सब खामोश है तेरी बातों में मैं ये कहाँ आ गया मेरे सवाल का तू ही जवाब है ये सवेरे सवेरे ही ख्वाब आ गया
ढूंढूं कहाँ कोई ऐसा जो समझे बिना बोले बातों को ना चंदा को तोड़ के लाए वो पर चांद हो दिल उसका पैसे भले कम कमाए वो पर जोरों से डेली हंसाए वो ले बाहों में जब घर आए वो मैं क्वीन हूँ किसी की हाँ वैसे हूँ मैं बड़ी सीधी सादी लड़की पर लब लेके आता ट्विस्ट मेरे ऐसा पगला सा मेरे लिए जब कहूँ करे बारिश ऐसा जो मिले तो never gonna let go
बड़ी जोर से मोहब्बत हुई बड़े जोर का तुझ पे प्यार आ गया मेरे सवाल का तू ही जवाब है ये सवेरे सवेरे ही ख्वाब आ गया ये मान लो के दिल है घर तेरा हाँ ये मान लो के दिल है घर तेरा किराया प्यार से चुका देना तुम मेरा कहो ना रहे
Talking Points with Keith Vaz, celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I hope you enjoyed the music. My first special guest today on the programme is Sangeeta Waldron, a multi-award-winning public relations professional who runs her own London-based PR agency, Serendipity PR and Media. She was named in Cometric's Top 100 of the PR Influencers Index and Top 15 Women Influencers in PR and Communications. She works with all types of organisations, sectors and people, and helps them to strategize and strengthen their brands with regards to incorporating corporate social responsibility and sustainability. She's a regular international speaker and moderator, and she also contributes as the global editor for the India CSR network, and she guest lectures at UK universities. I'm amazed that she's found time to speak to us this morning, but she has. Let's go over to North London and talk to Sangeeta Waldron. Good morning, Sangeeta.
Morning, Keith.
Before we get on to the meat of your PR and influencing, something that we all need, I can assure you. Tell me about your journey to this part. When you were growing up at university, did you ever think that you would end up doing this kind of work, or was something else selected for you?
Well, I actually did my university in India, and growing up, I always thought I would be a writer of fiction books. So no, I never thought my journey would sort of start with PR. And that I would be writing business books, not in my wildest dreams.
Because it's quite an important task you've got now. Do you feel as a woman, because we know all about, of course, Sir Linton Crosby and Mark Fulbrook and Saatchi, but there aren't any women that we know of who are household names. You are obviously up there at the very top as far as women are concerned, but you're also an Asian woman. As you developed your agency, was it difficult? Did you feel there was any racism or any misogyny, or people just accepted you and they listened to you?
That's a really good question. I think I've always faced some kind of racial discrimination when I came back to the UK. And, you know, I started out my career writing speeches for a previous Prime Minister and Minister. And at that time, there were very few young British Indians working at the Cabinet Office. And there were very few Indian women. So I was put in lots of boxes, lots of stereotypes, faced that along the way. But things are changing, and, you know, that is amazing that things are changing and we're seeing more voices coming through.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the fact that you worked for a previous PM in the Cabinet Office.
Yes.
Are you going to tell us who that was? And
no, because that would date me.
But what was the experience like? It's very difficult writing a speech for someone else. Obviously, in the end, it's the person who delivers it who either does a good job or a bad job, and they must have an input. But is it difficult writing for someone else and taking on their personality? For example, if Donald Trump rang you up and said, "Oh, Sangeeta, I can't do an American accent this time of the morning. I'm running for president again. Can you write my speeches?" Would you say yes? Do you choose, or do you just, is it like a cab ride principle, I should say? You just take anyone who comes along?
Well, I would never write Donald Trump's speech just because it's not one of my favourites. But there's a knack to doing it, and you learn the trade, so to speak. And civil service is very good at training you. And you get to know people, you know, the words they like to use, the phrases, and it's really enjoyable when you're writing someone's speech, because sometimes you can affect change, you can make change, and some speeches go down in history as well.
This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm talking to a change maker, someone who, through her work as an influencer, owning her own PR agency, Serendipity, has changed people's ideas and changed maybe the course of the history of this country. When we come back, we're going to be talking to her about a book that she's written, and also how we can cope in this digital age. Join us after the break.
अरे रे मेरा सैंडल टूटा रे, बरेली के बाजार में मुझे सबने लूटा रे, बरेली के बाजार में।
मान ट्रैवल।
कंफर्ट का हम ध्यान रखेंगे,
और जी चॉइसेस का भी मान रखेंगे, चीप फेयर्स का ध्यान रखेंगे, आपका हम मान रखेंगे।
मान ट्रैवल, time is flying. Let's fly too. Just call 0208 099 9900.
हर ट्रिप में आपका मान रखेंगे।
मान ट्रैवल।
Haldiram brings you the most loved Indian sweets which are freshly made in UK. Now order your favorite Haldiram products online only on haldiramuk.com. Also available at your local Asian store at super special prices.
Did you know the national living and minimum wage increased on the 1st of April? This means many people across the country should see an increase in their pay this month. The new rates apply to everyone, whether you're in a full-time, part-time or a temporary role. These are different based on your age or whether you're doing an apprenticeship. Don't just assume you're getting paid correctly. Check that you are and talk to your employer. To understand the new rates and to get advice, visit gov.uk/check your pay. You've earned it. Make sure you're getting it.
Get ready. Atif Aslam is back. Atif Aslam live on Sunday the 11th of June at the OVO Arena, Wembley. Tickets on sale now. Book online at ovoarena.co.uk and Videorama on 0208 907 0116. Book now to avoid disappointment.
I'm Kamal Khan. Join me live at the Queen's Theatre, Romford on Friday, 2nd of June.
Anuj Chopra Foundation proudly presents एक सुरीली मुलाकात कमल खान के साथ. Tickets from £25. Call the box office on 01708 443333 or visit queens-theatre.co.uk. Show sponsor Urban Interior. Show hosted by me, Anisa Nasir. Show powered by Laika Radio.
Rangilu Gujarat this September. Save the date, 1st to the 3rd of September at Royal Green Park, Kingsbury. For store bookings, log on to rangilugujarat.com. Exclusive radio partner, Laika Radio.
Himalaya Carpets is now offering 0% interest-free credit for up to 2 years. Huge savings on carpets, laminates and vinyl. Branches at Southall and Slough. Visit HimalayaCarpets.com.
Himalayan carpets for low prices. Himalayan carpets.
It's summer, summer, summertime, summer, summertime.
It's summer! And summer would not be the same without ice cream. So head on down to your local Scoop Herb branch and pick up your favourite flavour today. Scoop Herb in Alperton, Basingstoke, Croydon, Hounslow, Rayners Lane, Watford and Southampton.
The personalities that matter with Keith Vaz on Talking Points.
Laika Radio.
Keith Vaz on Talking Points. Laika.
Welcome back. Later on in the programme, I'm going to be talking to Usama Mullah, who is running the Diabetes Prevention Service in Leicestershire. But before that, I'm having a very interesting conversation with Sangeeta Waldron, influencer, PR expert and speechwriter to Prime Ministers. Sangeeta, you've written your own book. It's not a book for somebody else, it's your own book, which is entitled Corporate Social Responsibility is Not Public Relations. What made you write this book? It's got a long title, and what's the meaning behind it?
Well, what it's saying is that it's saying no to greenwashing by brands and businesses, irrespective of where they're based in the world and what kind of sector they're in. And what made me write that book, if you go back to January 2020, when Australia was facing those terrible bushfires due to the climate crisis, I was just watching that and I was just thinking, how can I make a difference and how can businesses make a difference?
If you were to say what is the most important way 21st century man, woman and young adult can influence other people, would it be A, Facebook, B, Twitter, C, Instagram, or just an email will do?
TikTok. Yes, TikTok.
Are you as obsessed with TikTok than I am? I have to have an hour of TikTok in the morning and an hour of TikTok at night. Are you the same?
Yes, because video is so powerful. We're all watching more than we're reading, and messages can be put across in a minute. through a really good video.
Do you think the website is dead? I mean, lots of people talk about, oh, have a look at my website, or here's my card. Does this apply anymore in terms of business and trying to influence people?
Websites still have a place depending on what your organization is, what's your product, are you retail? People like to shop online, and there's two things the pandemic taught us. One is those organizations or brands that were online, they thrived, and we accelerated our online shopping habit within, we fast forward 5 years during the pandemic. So being online is critical.
Well, obviously you have been very, very successful. Serendipity has been an amazing success, and you've got lots of very important clients. But tell me a brand that you admire, not in terms of what the brand does, but you sit there and you watch an advert or you watch something on TikTok and think, oh my God, I wish I'd done that. I do that sometimes when I listen to people speaking. When I hear Obama, I go, oh God, I wish I'd given that speech. Is there a particular marketing campaign or a brand where you think, oh, this is amazing, I wish it was me?
I think there's so many. I think
pick me one.
I love Ben & Jerry's, because of what they stand for, but they've managed to make that happen throughout. They've kept their authentic storytelling.
Now, I'm not sure that that's a good brand, bearing in mind that I'm going to be talking about diabetes later on. I'm a type 2 diabetic. Are you encouraging me, influencing me, Sangeeta Waldron, to eat some ice cream?
They do a skinny range. They do a skinny range.
Have you ever thought about what happens after digital? I mean, 10, 15 years ago, no Instagram, etc. What happens after this? Are we going to suddenly appear in front of people as holograms? Yes. Is that the next thing?
I think so. Remember Star Trek? Captain Kirk had the hologram. We're heading there. That's the future.
Okay. Now, I know you mentioned Trump, so I'm going to have to pull you on this. Last question, 30 seconds answer. If he did ring you and you said yes, tell me how you could repackage and rebrand Donald Trump to become the next president.
Oh, my goodness. I would make sure he had a green manifesto. He changed his whole rhetoric on climate change. And that's what I would do. That would be my first.
Sangeeta Waldron, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining us today, giving us some tips about how to improve our influencing and our PR. We always ask our special guests to choose a song that means something to them and to dedicate it to someone special. Which song would you like to choose, and to whom would you like to dedicate it to?
I've chosen a Hindi song, Roop Tera Mastana, from the Hindi film Aradhana, and it's in memory of my father, who would always sing this song and dance around the room, clicking his fingers, and I dedicate it to his memory, and his name was Shyamlal Gupta.
What a lovely dedication, and as we will hear, it's a terrific song. I'm sure wherever he is, he's looking down on you and thinking, she did well, my girl. Sangeeta, thank you for joining us, and have a great Sunday.
Thank you so much, Keith, for having me on the programme, and best wishes to all your wonderful listeners at Leica Radio.
Let's hear Sangeeta Waldron's song.
रूप तेरा मस्ताना, प्यार मेरा दीवाना। रूप तेरा मस्ताना, प्यार मेरा दीवाना। भूल कोई हमसे ना हो जाए। रूप तेरा मस्ताना, प्यार मेरा दीवाना। भूल कोई हमसे ना हो जाए। रात नशीली मस्त समा है, आज नशे में सारा जहां है। रात नशीली मस्त समा है, आज नशे में सारा जहां है। आए शराबी मौसम बहकाए, रूप तेरा तेरा मस्ताना प्यार मेरा दीवाना भूल कोई हमसे ना हो जाए से आंखें मिलती हैं ऐसे बेचैन होके तूफान में जैसे आंखों से आंखें मिलती हैं ऐसे बेचैन होके तूफान में जैसे मौज कोई साहिल से टकराए रूप तेरा मस्ताना प्यार मेरा दीवाना भूल कोई हमसे ना हो जाए रहा है हमको ज़माना दूर ही रहना पास न आना रोक रहा है हमको ज़माना दूर ही रहना पास न आना कैसे मगर कोई दिल को समझाए रूप तेरा मस्ताना प्यार मेरा दीवाना.
Time checks are brought to you by TravelUp.com. Our lowest prices are guaranteed only when you book directly through TravelUp.com or call 0207 580 5000.
Leica Radio.
Traffic and travel.
I'm Julian Brett. In Southall, the A4020 Uxbridge Road, we've got a heavy delay between the Aussie Garvin roundabout and Southall Park. Slow for South Road as well, coming past Southall Railway Station. The A316 Chertsey Road is busy both ways. You've got lane closures in place through the works between the Witton Road roundabout and Meadway. Taking a look at the trains, the main line station for South Eastern at Charing Cross and Waterloo East is closed today. Services will divert to use Victoria or Cannon Street. There are currently severe delays for the District Line between Edgware Road and Wimbledon, minor delays for the rest of the line, and no service between Earls Court and Kensington Olympia. There's also no service for the Piccadilly Line between Acton Town and Heathrow Airport, and buses replace South Western Railway services between Hounslow and Virginia Water and between Hounslow and Windsor and Eton Riverside. And that's the latest traffic and travel.
If Galaxy chocolate tastes good to you, wouldn't it be great if it did good for others too? That's why by 2030, we commit to help 1 million people, including women, their families, and their communities thrive. Just a little drop of pleasure could create ripples of hope. Galaxy chocolate. Your pleasure has promise. Find out more at galaxychocolate.co.uk.
This is Leica Radio.
सस्ती से सस्ती फ्लाइट्स और हॉलिडे पैकेज चाहिए तो 24 घंटे 7 दिन किसी भी समय ट्रैवल हब का नंबर मिलाइए फॉर क्रूज टेलर मेड हॉलिडे होटल बुकिंग्स एंड हनीमून पैकेजेस हमसे सस्ता कहीं नहीं मिल सकता. कॉल ट्रैवल हब 24/7 ऑन 0208-782-8833 और विजिट travelhubltd.co.uk.
Travel Hub, best service with unbeatable price.
At all protected.
Visit travelhubltd.co.uk.
Hira Foods, bringing you authentic Eastern flavours with a huge selection of products including spices, grains, lentils, rice, flours, pickles, sauces, nuts and ready-to-eat meals. Hira Foods, king in quality, king in taste.
Royal announcement by Royal Chai. Chai is loved by all and so is coffee. Here's presenting a brand new coffee latte in 3 different and delectable concoctions. Enjoy the royal blend and aroma of coffee in masala, cardamom and karak flavors. Taste the coffee latte with a quirk by Royal Chai. Now available at all major retailers.
सहाजा आयुर्वेदिक हर्बल मेडिसिन कंसल्टेशन सेंटर। हम हमारे खानदान से नाड़ी देख के सभी समस्याओं के लिए जड़ी बूटियों की दवाई देते हैं। अस्थमा, एलर्जी, स्किन प्रॉब्लम, सोराइसिस, कमर या घुटनों में दर्द, आर्थराइटिस, हेयर प्रॉब्लम, गैस ट्रबल, अल्सर्स, लेडीज प्रॉब्लम, वेट लॉस, सेक्सुअल प्रॉब्लम्स और सारी समस्याओं के लिए दवाई देते हैं। कॉन्टैक्ट वैद्य रत्नम PV Raj 499 High Road, Wembley or call 07341 954 351.
What's Love Got to Do with It is a romantic comedy you won't want to miss.
We get an assisted marriage. I will find your son a brilliant match. What's your education?
He's a doctor.
Oof, top of the food chain.
Just like that. Starring Lily James, Shazad Latif, Emma Thompson, Shabana Azmi and Sajal Ali.
The wedding's in Pakistan.
You're still fully signed up to this.
I've seen it work.
Written by Jemima Khan and directed by Shekhar Kapoor.
Your happiness is all that matters.
What's Love Got to Do with It?
Now the party starts.
Yours to own now.
ਸਿਆਣੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਝੂਠ ਦੇ ਪੈਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਜਵਾਕ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਹੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਭ ਝੂਠ ਸੀ।
ਲੈਂਬਰ ਦੇ ਝੂਠੇ ਲਾਰੇ ਗਿੰਨੀ ਦੇ ਪਿਆਰ 'ਚ ਕਰਾਉਣਗੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਕਾਰੇ। ਲੈਂਬਰਗਿਨੀ ਸਟਾਰਿੰਗ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਬਾਵਾ ਐਂਡ ਮਾਹਿਰਾ ਸ਼ਰਮਾ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੀ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ
ਕਾਰ ਆ ਸਕੂਟਰ ਟਰੈਕਟਰ ਜਨਰੇਟਰ ਲੈਂਬਰ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਆਪਰੇਟਰ। ਬਾਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ 2 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰੋ ਕਮਾਲ ਦੀ ਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਕੁਰਸੀ ਹੋ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ।
ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਲਾ ਤਾਂ ਓਵਰ ਕੁਆਲੀਫਾਈਡ ਹੈ।
ਰੌਮ-ਕੌਮ ਮੂਵੀ ਲੈਂਬਰਗਿਨੀ 2 ਜੂਨ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਜ਼ਦੀਕੀ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ। ਫॉर मोर info visit whitehillstudios.com.
Comedy drama Patel's Million is back.
ભાલેડાને ABCD નથી આવડતું. આ શું છે? ઋષિ સોનાકનું બજેટ.
Join Pale Patel as Mr. Patel in a staged comedy drama all about one man's dream to strike it rich at the Beck Theatre Hayes on the 4th of June and at Fairfield Hall, Croydon on 17th of June. Tickets available at patelsmillions.co.uk.
Himalaya Carpets Mega Bank Holiday Sale is now on. Over 500 rolls of carpets reduced by 30%. All room size remnants up to 40%. Vinyl and rugs all reduced. Himalaya Carpets Bank Holiday Sale is now on. Branches at Southall and Slough or visit HimalayaCarpets.com.
Himalayan carpets for low prices. Himalayan carpets.
Talking Points with Keith Vaz, celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. My second special guest on the programme today is Usama Mullah, an engagement lead for the NHS Diabetes Prevention Programme with a proven track record of success in stakeholder engagement, data analysis and community outreach for Leicester City. He represents the NHS Diabetes Prevention Programme, the NDPP, also looking to engage with various members of the community to raise awareness of the NDPP and ensure that all people who are eligible for the programme are aware of it. He is passionate in the work that he does. He reaches out to members of the local community and it is having a big effect. In 2020, he graduated from Leicester University. Let's go over to Leicester and talk to Usama Mullah. Good morning, Usama.
Good morning, Keith. Thank you for having me on.
Now, if I had met you a few years ago, it's quite possible that I would not have got type 2 diabetes. Why are you coming into my life now, 12 years after I have been diagnosed?
I mean, sometimes you can see, maybe based on your experience, maybe you have diabetes now, but now you can maybe potentially help other people that potentially are on the borderline. So maybe you could use your experience to help others, and maybe that's why I'm here today.
Now, research shows that Healthier You, the NHS Diabetes Prevention Programme, has actually reduced the number of type 2 diabetics in England, saving thousands of people from potentially serious consequences. It's also saved a lot of NHS money because 1/10 of the budget of the NHS is actually spent on diabetes. Is that the main benchmark that you have in the work that you do, making sure that you actually stop people tipping over?
I would say so. I would also say our organisation is also dedicated to helping individuals live healthier lives, both physically and mentally. And we also offer a wide range of services and programs aimed at empowering them to actually achieve optimal well-being.
People don't realise, do they? But you will know this because you're in this field, that diabetes is a killer and that in Leicestershire alone, there are 24 to 27,000 people with diabetes. Your company, XYLA, is one of those companies that are at the forefront of providing well-being for people. What kind of services does the company provide?
So we offer personalized health assessments and consultations, fitness programs tailored to their individual needs, nutritional guidance, stress management techniques, and mental health support. So our aim is obviously to address various aspects of their well-being, ensuring a holistic approach to diabetes prevention. Because as you mentioned, in Leicester, a lot of people generally, when it comes to preventive medicine, they're not really too forward-thinking when it comes to preventive medicine. And we have to really create that awareness that if you can change your lifestyle now, why not change it? And you have free support by the NHS, make the most of it.
This is a very good example, is it not, of a private-public partnership? It's a private company, but it's delivering services which perhaps the GP can't deliver. Because I remember when I was first diagnosed, I was not told to go to the gym or stop eating chocolate, whereas you're the kind of person people can go to and you can say, actually, if you change your lifestyle, you can reduce your HbA1c and you can live a healthier life.
I think sometimes that's also part of the problem. People rely on GPs far too much, nutritionists, dietitians. You have to go to specialists in their fields, and that's something that we offer. We have dietitians that help people reduce their HbA1c levels and making sure ultimately that they have a better physical and spiritual mental health and well-being.
This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm having a very interesting conversation with Osama Mullah, the XYLA Health and Wellbeing Company. When we come back, I'm going to be talking to him about how we get people to go into remission. People like me. Before that, and before the break, I'm just going to have a little test of my Freestyle Libre to give him my latest reading, and then we're going to come back and ask him some more questions. Join us after the break.
F word and travel. With an HSBC Global Money account, you can drop fees from Acapulco to Zurich. That means no fees here, bonjour, no fees here, howdy, and definitely no fees here. Pay no HSBC fees overseas with a Global Money account.
HSBC UK, opening up a world of opportunity. Available to HSBC UK customers with an eligible current account. Exclude some accounts such as the HSBC Basic Bank account. For mobile banking app users only. Non-HSBC fees may apply.
Hira Foods, bringing you authentic Eastern flavors with a huge selection of products including spices, grains, lentils, rice, flours, pickles, sauces, nuts, and ready-to-eat meals. Hira Foods, king in quality, king in taste.
Did you know the national living and minimum wage increased on the 1st of April? This means many people across the country should see an increase in their pay this month. The new rates apply to everyone, whether you're in a full-time, part-time, or a temporary role. These are different based on your age or whether you're doing an apprenticeship. Don't just assume you're getting paid correctly. Check that you are and talk to your employer. To understand the new rates and to get advice, visit gov.uk/check your pay. You've earned it. Make sure you're getting it.
मुंबई में गरम गरम पाव भाजी या दिल्ली में गोलगप्पे या फिर अमृतसर में छोले या फिर हैदराबाद की बिरयानी या
Bus. Stop drooling and start travelling. Get the cheapest deals only on travelup.com or call 0207 580 5000.
बोल दे पंजाब दी पहचान पंजाबी संगीत दा एक उच्चा नाम रंजीत बावा. Dream Chasers Management presents the return of the Punjabi superstar singer Ranjit Bawa, performing live across the UK on 9th of June at Demont Fort Hall, Leicester, on 11th June at Civic Hall, Wolverhampton, on 18th June at Indigo at the O2 London. Tickets on sale at dcmgmt.co.uk. Exclusive radio partner Laika Radio. Are you fair? Ranjit Bawa nu milan.
Himalaya Carpets is now offering 0% interest-free credit for up to 2 years. Huge savings on carpets, laminates and vinyl. Branches at Southall and Slough. Visit HimalayaCarpets.com.
Himalayan carpets for low prices. Himalayan carpets.
महंगाई के इस दौर में ठंडक की राहत लीजिए पेंट वैली से. थर्स्ट क्वेंचिंग मॉकटेल्स लाइक कुल्फी फलूदा, कोकम, काला खट्टा, कच्ची कैरी, केसर, गुलाब, पान पसंद और कैरी पुदीना flavors, among many others. Available at your local Asian grocery shops or visit pentvalley.com. Call 0208 1065716.
It's summer, summer, summertime, summer, summertime.
It's summer! And summer would not be the same without ice cream. So head on down to your local Scoop Herb branch and pick up your favourite flavour today. Scoop Herb in Alberton, Basingstoke, Croydon, Hounslow, Raynersley, Watford and Southampton.
The personalities that matter with Keith Vaz on Talking Points.
Leica Radio.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm having a very interesting conversation with Osama Mullah from the XYLA Health and Wellbeing Company about diabetes. Very close to my heart. Well, actually in my arm, I've just tested my Freestyle Libre and I've come out as a 10.2. I ate a couple of biscuits on the way to the studio. Tell us what the components are, Osama, of this very important prevention program.
So I'd say we play a crucial role as the local provider for the National Diabetes Prevention Programme. It's a joint initiative between NHS England, Public Health and Diabetes UK, and it aims to reduce the incidence of type 2 diabetes and promote healthier lifestyles. Now, our programme offers two options for participation. Individuals can join our face-to-face sessions held in local community venues where they benefit from group-based support and interaction. Alternatively, participants can choose convenient digital program delivered in partnership with Aviva, allowing them to access support remotely, or they could do a hybrid of both, because we do realize a lot of people maybe sometimes don't have enough time or they need catch-up sessions, so we have the flexibility of both. We also offer those sessions in different languages, so for example Gujarati, Hindi, and we know that especially with South Asian audience, what better way to do it is to have that full equity of access. Now, over the course of 9 months, because it's a 9-month program, and we do realize that lifestyle habits don't change overnight, we guide individuals through this transformative journey, equipping them with the knowledge and tools needed for success. By focusing on healthy eating, weight management, and incorporating physical exercise, we help individuals adopt lifelong habits that reduce their risk of type 2 diabetes. And last, I'd say prevention is key. And by participating in our diabetes prevention program, listeners can take control of their health and significantly lower their risk of developing type 2 diabetes.
Gosh, well, that is a very interesting summary of what is a very important program. Tell me one other thing. Do you catch people at a certain level, i.e. they're borderline, they're about to tip over, or do you wait for people to come to you? Because when I last saw you, you were at a health fair at the People's Centre.
So we work with a lot of GPs and practices all over Leicester, and they have a database where they have all the recorded patients that are pre-diabetic based on the HbA1c levels. So we offer tailored support to those people, specifically within that regard, pre-diabetic. And we also work with community engagement, and we often tell people, and this is part of my role, is to tell people that go out there and take that blood test and see whether you're pre-diabetic or not. And if you are, there is support out there for you.
Now tell me, what's a good HbA1c? I'm normally, my 3-month level is 7.0. Am I okay?
So in terms of the figures, we have different ways of reading it. So you can read it as the HbA1c of 42 to 47 mmol/mol, or you can reading as of a fasting plasma glucose of 5.5 to 6.9. So if you're in between that range of 5.5 to 6.9 within the last 12 months, you're eligible for the program. Anything higher than that, then you'd be diabetic, unfortunately.
Now, give me one key message to the listeners. We've got about 100,000 listeners of Leica Radio because we are the greatest radio station in London. Tell us one key message for us to be able to live a healthier and longer life.
I'd say if I were to focus on just one, I'd say engage in regular physical activity, whether it's taking a walk, especially during maybe your working hours, aiming for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week. I mean, the last I checked, 1 in 3 adults are not active in Leicester, so you don't want to be part of that 1/3. We want to all be active together. And remember, even small changes can have a significant impact on your health. And by making these conscious choices and seeking support when needed, you can really take control of your well-being and reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes.
Osama Mullah, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I feel as if I should go for a brisk walk at 10 o'clock after the program finishes. We always ask our special guests to choose a song that means something special to them and to dedicate it to someone special. Which song would you like to choose, and to whom would you like to dedicate it?
Well, I'll choose All Is Well by Amir Khan. I dedicate it to my colleagues at Zyla Health and Wellbeing because of the amazing support they're providing to the community, everything to do with health. And yeah, that's what I dedicate to.
On behalf of all of our listeners, thank you so much for the wonderful work that you and your company does in order to make people aware of their diabetes and to prevent the development of diabetes. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you very much for having me on the program today, Keith, and best wishes to the listeners of Leica Radio.
Let's hear Osama Mullah's song.
Out of control, होठों को करके गोल, होठों को करके गोल, सीटी बजा के बोल, लाइफ हो out of control, होठों को करके गोल, होठों को करके गोल, सीटी बजा के बोल. मुर्गी क्या जाने अंडे का क्या होगा, अरे लाइफ मिलेगी या तवे पे फ्राई होगा, कोई ना जाने अपना फ्यूचर क्या होगा. होठ घुमा सीढ़ी बजा के बोल भैया अरे भैया अरे चाचू अरे भैया
कंफ्यूजन ही कंफ्यूजन है, सॉल्यूशन कुछ पता नहीं, सॉल्यूशन जो मिला तो सारा क्वेश्चन क्या था पता नहीं.
दिल जो तेरा बात बात पे घबराए, दिल पे रख के हाथ उसे दिल फुसला ले, दिल इडियट है प्यार से उसको समझा ले. होठ घुमाओ सीढ़ी बजा के बोल भैया अरे भैया अरे चाचू अरे भैया
स्कॉलरशिप की पी गया दारू, गम तो फिर भी मिटा नहीं, अगरबत्तियां राख हो गई गौर तो फिर भी दिखा नहीं।
बकरा क्या जाने उसकी जान का क्या होगा, सीख घुसेगी या साला की माँ होगा। कोई न जाने अपना फ्यूचर क्या होगा, तो होंठ घुमा सीढ़ी बजा के बोल भैया अरे भैया अरे चाचू अरे भैया जब लाइफ हो आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल तो होठों को करके गो, होठों को करके गोल सीटी बजा के बोल। मुर्गी का जाने अंडे का क्या होगा, और लाइफ मिलेगी या तवे पे फ्राई होगा। कोई न जाने अपना फ्यूचर क्या होगा, होठ घुमा सीढ़ी बजा के बोल भैया।
Vaz on Talking Points. Leica.
Time's up for this week. I hope you enjoyed today's program. My thanks to Sangeeta Waldron and Osama Muller for joining us today. Special thanks to my producer Rena and editor Adam. To end today's program, I'm going to play one of Tina Turner's greatest hits, Simply the Best. To honor her amazing music, we will miss her. I'm dedicated this song to my editor Adam, who celebrates his birthday next Friday on the 2nd of June. Adam, how are you going to celebrate it?
I'm going to go away and I'm going to be in Prague.
What a way to celebrate. He's going to leave the country. Anyway, Simply the Best. Thank you for all your work. Please stay tuned for the wonderful Sheena, who follows the news on Leica Radio, Britain's greatest Asian radio station. This is London, and this has been Talking Points on Leica Radio with Keith Vaz. I hope you have a great Sunday and a fantastic sunny bank holiday weekend.
I call you, I need you, my heart's on fire. You come to me wild and wild. You come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love like you know what it means. And it can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Baby, I would rather be dead. In your heart, since the start of every night.